Deuce McBride is officially breaking out for the New York Knicks, and also Mitchell Robinson has returned and instantly shown his impact, and we are going to break this down. Dariel, give me the rundown. What did you see from Deuce McBride, a guy who we not were always very high on here?
But yo, the way Deuce has been playing, I think Coach Tibbs, I think Coach Tibbs has the utmost confidence in him, and maybe that's something that we got to give a little bit more credit to Coach Tibbs. Maybe Coach Tibbs actually took him to the side when they were completely depleted. When OG and Anunoby first went out with that elbow injury, when Randall went out with that shoulder injury, Mitchell Robinson's been out since like middle of December. So maybe Coach Tibbs actually pulled him to the side and was like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna be riding you. If you make a mistake, just play through it." And then that kind of gave Deuce the green light to just not do whatever he wanted, but just to play a little bit more freely. I keep harping on the playoffs because that's what the season all boils down to. Obviously, is especially after last season, we're gonna need to see how the Knicks play this playoff season, because if they have another second round exit, depending on the matchups, then we might not be as happy as we were last season. But yo, I don't know, man. Like I don't want to feel like I'm just getting way too ahead of myself because Deuce is playing really really well. But what if Deuce comes out in the first round and he's just like, you see him take these shots that like he wouldn't be taking in like November, December, and the confidence that Coach Tibb has instilled within him. Oh man, I just wish Deuce can really. I really wish Deuce can keep it up. Hopefully, Coach Tibbs doesn't like do anything to really knock his confidence, and hopefully Deuce gets even more experience as the season winds down. What did you see from Mitch? Did you like what you saw, or like what were your feelings towards Mitch?
I really liked the way that he played. Going 2 for 4 on free throws is actually an improvement on the way he's been shooting the free throw ball this season. So that's nice. He
Right.
went out there the first 15 seconds he's on the court. He basically just shoves Chris Boucher out of the way because he's just so much bigger. Sprints down and saves a ball that's going out of bounds and grabs an offensive rebound and keeps the possession alive. It's the exact same stuff that Mitch was doing that made all of us say, like, this guy is one of the most underrated centers in the league. He's still doing that. He's doing all of that. So he looks like the same player. And I love the uptick in aggression. That's super rare. When you look at a player who comes back from an injury, there's a good amount of time, especially a leg injury, where it's like, if I land wrong, I'm in some trouble. Like, he's come back and just been so aggressive off the rip. You could tell that Mitch wanted to play. Like, he missed playing. He showed it in tonight's game. I think he's going to continue to show that. And just judging off of the Raptors, who, all things considered, being a pretty awful team this season, they have a solid group of big men. Kelly Olynyk's no slouch. Chris Boucher's been a solid backup big man for the last half decade. Like, and Mitch just completely torched them. If you put Mitch up against these level bigs, like backup big men in the NBA in the playoffs, he's going to give them a lot of problems, and that's going to translate to giving teams' benches a whole lot of problems when you count in that defense.
I mean, again, I feel like we do have to keep harping on. We did play the Toronto Raptors tonight. Mitch did look great. Deuce McBride looked great. But shout out to our guy Ben. But the Toronto Raptors are absolutely horrible. I did not expect them to be that horrible. But
I am crushed, is what it says from last time the Knicks and the Raptors played when we were in the building in MSG.
facts. But yeah, nah, man. Moving forward, like, okay, we finally got Big Mitch back. Finally. So now we need OG back. And now we need Julius Randle. So hopefully things start coming together slowly but surely. But let's just pretend that everybody is back. Not even healthy, because Randle and Anunoby, it doesn't look like they're going to be healthy for the remainder of the stretch. It looks like they're going to be playing through some pain. So let's just pretend that everybody is on the floor. The starting five, we're looking at Jalen Brunson at the 1. We're looking at Dante DiVincenzo at the 2. We're looking at OG at the 3, Randall at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. That 5 going up against, presumably, the first round opponent, Orlando Magic. I'm still taking Knicks in 7, but we talked about how Orlando could give us a good run for our money. But then after the first round, going up against the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, like, that starting 5 that we have, man, like, we have a chance. And I'm talking about this with my friends, and some of my friends are like, they're telling me that like against Boston. Boston obviously is the juggernaut in the Eastern Conference. That's something that I'll think about if we actually do face them. But like Milwaukee, I'm not scared of Milwaukee. They just blew a 20, 30 point lead to Atlanta the other day. So I'm just saying that the Eastern Conference isn't as scary as some people make it out to be.
Patrick Beverley's what, 35 years old now? Like, you can't put him on a star player on the other team. One, because I mean, he plays bigger than his height, but he is still only 6'3". He's also getting older. Like, yeah, with the Knicks, their best player happens to be a point guard. Would Patrick Beverley guard him? Of course. But Bev's not starting. They're still using Dame and Malik Beasley in the backcourt. Dame has never been the world's greatest defender. I don't want to just go out here and trash talk Dame's defense or something, but like, we know what Dame is. We know how he plays, and he's a tremendous player for it, but he's not there to play defense. Malik Beasley's defense is weirdly bad for someone who's athletic. Chris Middleton is still guarding team's best opposing offensive player, and he's had approximately 80,400 injuries over the last, year? I think the Bucks have a million holes in them. And this goes back to what I was saying when you're looking at the Celtics with Mitch coming off the bench. The Knicks would start Hartenstein because Hartenstein's a better perimeter defender than Mitchell Robinson. He also is more willing to leave the paint than Mitch, given Mitch has changed that, and we saw it in the first half of the season when he was healthy. Regardless, Mitch likes to stay in the paint. It's where he's most comfortable. When you put Porzingis against Al Horford or Xavier Tillman, the Celtics are going to have a problem because Al Horford is getting up there, and he's only 6'9", and Xavier Tillman is a long way from Mitchell Robinson when it comes to athleticism and getting rebounds. I think the Celtics would have a lot of problems with the Knicks, especially if we're in a world where OG is healthy, because OG has experience guarding Tatum.
Facts.
He's pretty good at it.
Facts.
And he's also physical as hell. And if you're looking for a weakness in Jason Tatum's game, who in my mind is a superstar player, I think he's probably a back-end top 10 player in the NBA. And OG, like Tatum's big thing is that he's not that physical. Jason Tatum's not going to run you over. He doesn't have to. But against OG in the playoffs, when the game is physical and OG is a big 6'8", and he is going to rough you up, you're not going to be guarded by OG Anunoby for 48 minutes and come away with that game without a few bruises. It's just the way that OG plays, and we love him for it. And I think that will give Tatum some problems. I still think the Celtics would beat the Knicks, don't get me wrong. But I think the Knicks can easily push that to a 6-7 game series. And once there's a game 7 in a series, unless, as stats show, unless LeBron is playing in it, it's basically a coin toss to a degree.
So you're basically
like home court matters, but you know, it can go anyone's way.
So you're basically saying the Knicks are going to the championship. Let's go, baby. Knicks.
The Knicks are locked down. The Knicks are winning the finals. Doesn't matter who they play in the West.
We got a lot of ground to cover before we get to that point.
Something that I need to add, because I am part of his hive that is ever growing with most Knicks fans, population, every Knicks fan but Dariel.
Oh, yeah.
The return to Toronto. Precious Achiuwa is a steal and a half for the New York Knicks. He's a steal. He's a steal. 13, 12,
that dunk
19 and 12.
That dunk he had was crazy. I'll give you that. His aggressiveness, just completely baptizing whoever it was. But again, it was the Toronto Raptors. But go on with your Precious rant. I'll let you ride.
Yeah, I mean, Precious Achiuwa going for 19 points, pulling down 12 rebounds, 6 offensive, 6 defensive. He had a great game. Defensively, he's doing great. There is a fear, though, because I think this guy's an absolute steal for the Knicks, and it does give the Knicks some leverage of like, hey, if we don't want to re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein, we have a pretty good option at backup center. Given I don't want that to happen, I would rather the Knicks give a bit of the extra money to Hartenstein, who's going to make around 14-ish million this offseason per season. There's a chance that they're going to have to cut Precious loose because of just the money that they're paying out, just to avoid luxury tax, to avoid that second apron at all costs. There's a world where Precious ends up becoming just an unrestricted free agent and the Knicks lose him.
I kind of worry about that. I want if the Knicks do end up having to just let go of Precious for reasons of financial or for financially based reasons, I'd be bummed out, but they better do it in some sort of sign and trade or get him involved in a package for a star player. And I'm not saying Precious is some major piece like, yo, we just got Precious, rebuild is on. But he's a great player. Like, he's showing that he's really broken out and coming to his own on the Knicks. I love Precious. I don't see your view on it.
You see my face, man. If they let him go, they let him go, bro. I'm cool with it. Like, if the only way I'm gonna change my mind is if he completely has a change of heart or whatever, the way he plays in the playoffs. If he starts playing like Jimmy Butler, but he does in the playoffs, I'm gonna be like, who the hell is this person? But I highly doubt that's gonna happen. So you know my stance on Precious.
Precious propaganda coming your way soon via Knicks Digest, aka me, because Dariel's not going to push it.
Sorry guys, don't kill me in the comments.
I'll be in touch with y'all in the comments.
All right, guys, but that's it for tonight's video. We want to say thank you for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let us know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Toronto Raptors. And also, do not kill me in the comments for the Precious Achiuwa remarks that I had tonight. But until next time, guys, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president, even though he's on the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. And I'm going to throw a new one in there. Duce McBride for co-MVP, baby. And we out.
Most improved.
Most improved. Peace.